사실이
그게 저지는
다디 그래.
남자 구치고 쪽.
남자 구치고 쪽에. 이거래.
컴퓨터를 이번에 이제 올라가게 디워트. 데이터와 모부시나레스. 이 도원에 지나네들 담보니 무슨 시버레스.
시버리베.
데이터.
이니 리파. 리베제 메스가 세.
올라래 디발레. 디발레.
가디시네.
데이터와 모부시나레스.
된다 모부시나레스. 이니 제베 리베 고니 장. 교화소 이르도 나와니. 가지인데 소장민도. 다시 대담은 붙이셔야 돼. 저게 가지 리베 제메스나 리베 케베 주요 버시다라 태님나서 리베 저도 집에 리베 제메스와 인식을 받쳤던데 지는 네 리베 케 그리스 케바 리베 님 고메스 리베 까브리스 그래서 그래 리베 케베 주요 버시 켈링 리베 케스 그래 리베 케스는 다 이어가지 샤는 그 말이죠. 리베 제베스보다 리베 케바니 뭐지? 진투스 말이야. 라룰레 리베 제베스가 이자 리베 케바 말이지. 자산디 신다비 리베 제베스는 리베 케고 그래서인데 리베 케는 케베 유가 지달 테스 리베 케 차네 더 유스는 지금 말이 있으려 그래. 라티 제나 추버리스 데려만 보시 디네 리베 제 수거당 리베 네바니 지도 추아디스 단디스네 가디 리베 제 미스나 리베 제 미스바당 다디 리베 제 미스바다 리베 케바니 지도 소나리 라룰레 리베 제 미스나 리베 케베 마체스 다디 kumbaza subatesu tadu jiberi be cheme subares ni tadu jiberi be keba mares ribate keba ina tadu jiberi be keba ina ribe keba mares ribe keusuna ta ribati mebres togruwa esa ribe keba mari yari esi Prang jene ribe cheme sunu ribe ke bugure esiriya. Adati chubaris 리베 제메스부터 리베 케버니 네버니부터 치우스마 리베 제메스는 리베는 두도 선디에 다른 리베 제메스는 리베는 구마레스 리베는 네부레스 다디 대단 문부시 세티 엔라와 문부시 나리 딩이 집에 리베 고메장 겨울에서 보여도 심마와니 빠져레스 딩이 집에 리베 고기 고차디 니 겨울에서 보여도 심마와니 빠져레스 아주 그거잖아요. 스타일로 두고 말이지.
So here we're on page 156 in the English. It all, where we actually got to was around where it says reply, but it all comes, it sort of, the story starts before that. So, yeah, well, anyway, if we look at the question, if these things cannot withstand rational analysis, then how is it possible something to exist when reason has refuted it? So the reply from Lamsongkara is you're mistakenly conflating the inability to withstand rational analysis with invalidation by reason. So this is where we go to. Many who have thought this, who have made this error, claim that production and such exist even though rational analysis analysis of reality refutes them. This is reckless chatter. So we do not agree. Sort of like saying it's nonsense, just nonsense, talking about it like that. So what this is saying is that, well, you know, according to our system, there's nothing which exists which can withstand a analysis into the ultimate nature. In other words, nothing can withstand an ultimate analysis, that kind of reasoning. So here we're talking about somebody who thinks that if something can't withstand analysis, an ultimate analysis, then that means that it's been refuted. The object has been refuted. So what we would say is that it can't withstand an ultimate analysis, but still it exists. So we make a distinction here. They're thinking, this person is thinking, well, certainly our system would be it can't withstand an ultimate analysis, but it's not refuted by, you know, by that analysis. It's not refuted by any kind of by reasoning. It still exists. But according to this other position, if something can't withstand an ultimate analysis, that means it's been harmed by that ultimate analysis. That means that it's been refuted by it. So therefore, it doesn't exist. So if that were the case, then you'd have to, as a result of that ultimate analysis, you'd have to realize that the thing doesn't exist. And so this and that's actually, you know, that's nonsense. So the problem is then conflating notwithstanding an ultimate analysis and being refuted by you know, the rational analysis.
The tiny jewelry basket. Tiny letter, the thing tiny bumbaris, kawari, senior, midi, pajuri, senior yarba. The tiny jewelry basket. I think it's near doing yari. The bumbare, mares, the bumbati, by need yarba. A silk bumba, the bumbare, mares, Tom dishes, choosing to Junior, but the bumbare, mares. Bumbari is need yarba. The repeated Bumbari Mari Junior repeated tiny jewelry basket. Ding between the yard. Oh, that Tadu Jubasina, Tadu jewelry she's in it. Tadus here, the joy of the garrison. Bumbenu Tadu, Bumbenu Tadu, Rashime Barbar. Rashi Dumatu. Bumbarashi Dumatu Jabati, Tina Tadu to the Jessica. Bumbe to them the Jeba Julia. But the Dibi, Jesuit magic.
You see, there are two types of rational analysis. One is called an ultimate analysis, one is called conventional analysis. The ultimate analysis would be investigating the ultimate or final way of being of the object, and would be inquiring whether that object exists by its own nature or not. So it's because its ultimate nature is emptiness of existing by nature. Therefore, when you're investigating, see whether it exists, naturally or not, then that's called an ultimate analysis, and analysis of the ultimate way of being of the object. Then the conventional analysis would be asking such questions as, well, is this thing a vase or is it a pillar? If it's a vase, is it a vase made of gold? This thing which is if you think about the definition of the vase, something which has a flat base, round belly, holds water and so on. So that gold, such and such thing, is that a golden vase or not? That kind of analysis, that's an analysis or investigation of the conventional nature of the thing. So that would be called a conventional analysis, or maybe conventional rational analysis.
That's it. Bumbato Jiverishi, Jabati, and that meta caressing. She tiny tablet, Dalton Pumberva. Tiny tablet, Dalton, she tiny tablet, doing the Pumbashaurva. Pumbati, Pumbeta, she didn't to shoot and shut down. Pumbet to drink into Cariredo. Pumbasi, Pumbe, shut the red to it, cut the red to it. Pumbe, thank you to Jim Mambuyarva, to Suri. The reverse change to Tambazania memory. Just a deep Pumbashi, a tiny tap without doing tea. Then she didn't do it. Jane, Zegina, Tania Meverva. Or the Tatu Juverishi, Jabati, need to mess at it. When Pumbasi at it, you may tell that in a Pumbani Duerva. Tiny very received 10 years. Baju Rajilas and a Baju Jagatin year Jerva. The Pumba, Baju Diletum Dosset. Jenny Niguerva did Tiny Jewelry, she did a bit need you. Never do yare. Tadu jewelry she never do me. But did you know? Pumbara she messy at the Pumbeta she didn't Pumba Jabachin. Pumbe shop dear, Pumba Mari, Pumbe chu dear, Pumba Mari. Pumbe to Jin Pumbena to Jin Jay. Jung she to Jung to she. What to so reading a Pumbari Western Jay and Sunny need you ever in son? Tatu jewelry she. Timmy never do miss. Todo jubilation, never do miss up todo jubilation, James. Bumbadi, todo jubilation, Timmy Jesu to miss. Tiny jubilee be Jesu the attic.
A vase, for example, it can't be found by an ultimate analysis. So in the case of the vase, the imputed object is the vase. The vase is the imputed object, and then the basis of imputation would be the various parts of the vase, like the spout, the base, and the many atoms that go to make up the vase. And if you ask, is the spout the vase? Is the base the vase? Are the atoms, particles that go to make it up one by one, are they the vase? You can't find it. So when you look for the when you look for the imputed object on the basis of imputation, on the other side, on the basis of imputation, then you can't find it. You can't find it. So generally speaking, the vase is findable. It's findable by a conventional analysis. For example, when you lose your cow, then you should be able to find it. If you look around, then you'll be able to find it. However, the vase can't be found by an ultimate analysis. Again, so when you look, you ask, can you point at the basis of a vase and say that's the vase? Can you point at the atoms, the particles that go to make it up? Are they the vase one by one? So you won't be able to find anything you can point out. So when we talk about being made of atoms, we talk there are the drusidiae, so the 8 particles and substances, literally. Anyway, so what the 8 referred to in that combination, that phrase, is the 4 elements and the 4 derivatives of the elements. So you can look one by one at all of those and ask, is this the vase? And you won't be able to find the vase in that way through that ultimate analysis. But so it doesn't. The vase cannot withstand an ultimate analysis, but it can withstand analysis, because it can withstand analysis by a conventional, conventional reasoning.
Did it that? You could get me get you, but this and need to get it. And you could get a need to get it. You could give it and give it the tiny very possible. The Pumba don't number give my get you, but this and the very possible. Liberty need to be married. Pumba, I think too much. Pumba, you would have seen the game I get you, but this need to be married. Pumba game I get you, but this Pumba Sabin like Jakarta, you go Sabin and game I get you, but this and need to be Sabin like you need to be tiny to very possible. Or these you go and Sabin Rashid Jam, my just chain. You will tell to a jabber, jet. No thing to answer.
Now, in the case of a sprout, we can specifically we think about the production of a sprout. So that does exist and it can be found. Okay, so the production of a sprout can be found. What it's found by is a conventional analysis. However, when you examine whether the sprout is produced ultimately or not, then the kind of analysis is called an ultimate analysis, and through such an analysis you wouldn't be able to find that ultimate production. So whether or not the sprout is produced from a seed, sorry, when you investigate that, whether or not it's produced from a seed, then you're going to be able to find it. You're going to be able to find a sprout produced from a seed, and that analysis is a conventional analysis. But then when you carry out an ultimate analysis, looking at the ultimate fact, the ultimate reality, then you wouldn't be able to find an ultimately existing production of a sprout from a seed. So we wouldn't say that, for example, the production of the sprout from a seed is found, withstands in analysis. Okay, you wouldn't say that. When we say withstands analysis or doesn't withstand analysis, what we're talking about is an ultimate analysis, an analysis into the ultimate way of being, or the thusness of the object. So yeah, again, yeah. Well, anyway, we're in. It's still just before the quote from the Chandakirti. So to ask whether some, you see in the middle of the page, it says to ask whether something can withstand rational analysis is to ask whether it is found by a line of reason that analyzes reality. So that's the point that we're making here. When we say that something is or isn't, does or doesn't withstand rational analysis. What we mean is an ultimate analysis, a rational analysis of the ultimate way of being of the object. So whether you say that the ultimate nature of the thing, or whether you say that the suchness, that's the same really. So so it's we would say that there's nothing which can withstand analysis, which means that there's nothing which can withstand an ultimate analysis. That's what that means.
That is the best chess. You're going to need to be very chess. You're to match everywhere. The Messinane, Pumba Temba to Matuchet, Tala, the Rishi, Pumba Temi to Gurva, the Pumba Temi, the Betches over Vesine, the Maris. It's a Taduji very big Yesuna. Yes, and Taduji very shitty. Temba Pumba Temba to Rashiga to Matuchet, Tala Pumba Temi Niverva. The Jetan Yes, Vesina. And the Betches over the Betches should do gas. But to Matuchet, Tala, but they meet you to gas. The Betches to Masina. It is Betche Mrs. The Betche Mrs. said, Umba Temper never down. Temper to Matuchevana. Pumba Temi Giamari. Pumba Temi Kuran Cheshi the shot. Pumba Temi the Temper to Matuchevana. Pumba Temi Manis. Pumba Temi getting it to meeting ever. Audience at that and the Betches which you may jig touch everywhere. Men. But them but to Matuche, Tala, but they mean to gas. But they meet the Betches of a Tassina. Tekonang the very good in years from Hasina. Rani let the Jebet Tekonang. Rani the Jebet Betcher, but Tibi Jem Susie. But they made it and but to Matuche, but the Etina. But they make it think it. Meeting ever in shooting, but they mean I'm not racing it.
So let's see. We would say then that there is no phenomenon which can withstand analysis. So there's a phenomenon which can withstand analysis doesn't exist. Now, on the other hand, when you analyze, when you engage in an ultimate analysis of a given object, then you wouldn't find the object, right? You wouldn't find a truly existing object. But you do find something. What you find is the emptiness of that object. Like, for example, a vase. When you carry out or engage in an ultimate analysis of the vase, you won't find the vase. It cannot withstand analysis. So you don't find the vase. But what you do find is the emptiness of the vase. However, that doesn't mean to say that the emptiness of the vase itself is something that can withstand analysis, which is what you might conclude. Because to see whether the emptiness of the vase can withstand analysis or not, you would have to take the emptiness of the vase as being the thing that you're examining. Before it was the vase, and you're asking whether the vase exists ultimately or not, and you can't find such a thing. So you find the emptiness of the vase. Now, that doesn't mean to say that that emptiness of the vase withstands analysis. You have to take the emptiness of the vase as the thing that you're analyzing and investigate whether that exists ultimately or not. So when you engage in an ultimate analysis of the emptiness of the vase, you won't find the emptiness of the vase. What you would have found is the emptiness of the emptiness of the vase.
Tatini Ribe Jenny Sugi, Economy, Nimani, Dea Ship Yabe Devale, Koja, Koja, number Jevani, and she saw a total number in Nijiros. Koja, that number Jovanis, Javachiatini, Ranshi saw a total number, and she saw a senator. Neluchua, Chorilamba in Bichel, she soon batara. Sola, la Jangala soba, Ranshi, you met so I knows. Jangala so Dendam Kivam Tanya de Dendam Kim Juba Titina. And I see so I see the Ranshi Suari, Dendam the Jet to be. So Java so many choa some maris. Sola sobe Java sobe Rashi Yumi Chois Java Rashi Yumi, Gaba Rashi Yumi, Suta Suban. What do the Rashi Yumi Choari Mishuji? Tanya do Yumi Chua Maris. Choin. Yadana Sola soba la Rangi Mutu. Jenga so Jenga Yumitawa Inji Ribati Jenga Sam Chua Maino Jasan Ribati Rishi Digi Tuyadi Sula Sobe Jenga Javala Sobatus Tambari Yumitawa Yishuji I Jawa Sam Dangaba Sam Chua Maris Jawa Dangaba Nidu Yarba. So Jawa Niguari, so Gaba Niguari. So near I think Jawa Dentamania Yamari, Gaba Dentamania. Dentamba Gabania, Dentamber Jawa Nia Yamarva. This year, Mishuji Sula Sobatus, Jawa Gaba so Maris. Tadu Rishi said. Rishi said that Madame Jube Rishi said. Tanya Jube Ripatilla Rishi said, Rishi Senator Tadu Jube Tamala Ribala. Rishi said,
Tanya Rishi della Rishi like Mara.
Tanya Juji Ribatia, Rishi said. Tanya Juji Ribasigaba, Rishi Sigmaris.
I like Tanya Juji like it. Rishi like
Rishi Sigmaris.
Okay, then that's the distinction made here. Let's see. Okay, so what we're looking at now is where it says in the middle of the page, you've got the quote from Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 standards. Okay, so Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 standards says, because our analysis is intent upon seeking intrinsic nature. Well, actually, what it says is nature. Okay, so what it actually says is literally, because our analysis is intent upon seeking the nature. Nature here means the ultimate nature. Okay, but anyway, it's similar, isn't it? You're not really looking for the intrinsic nature. You're looking for the ultimate nature. Intrinsic nature sounds like, you know, existence by its own side or something. But anyway, I think you get the point. So what this means is, Chandrakirti is saying what we are searching for is the nature, in the sense of the ultimate nature of phenomena, such as, for example, the production and cessation of form and so forth. So in other words, what we're looking at is whether form and so forth are produced ultimately or not, whether they cease ultimately or not. So that would be an ultimate analysis. So we're not, what he's saying is we are not, and this is, you see in the explanation that follows coming from Lama. So this is seeking to discover whether forms and so forth have an intrinsic nature that is produced, ceases, and so forth. Thus, the analysis searches to see whether forms and so forth have production and cessation that exist essentially. It is not that this line of reasoning searches for mere production and cessation. Therefore, this line of reasoning is said to analyze reality, because it analyzes whether production, cessation, and so forth are established in reality. So, what it's saying is we're not analyzing to see whether form is produced or not. Not merely that. Not merely searching to see whether form form ceases or not, but whether form is produced ultimately or not, whether it ceases ultimately or not. So we're not looking at its conventional nature, whether it conventionally exists or not, whether conventionally it's produced or not. So otherwise, in general, we can say that the form, the production of form and the ceasing of form are findable. However, they're not, when you look for their ultimate production and ultimate cessation, in other words, you look to see whether they're produced ultimately, whether they cease ultimately, then you wouldn't be able to, such a thing, production of form that exists ultimately and so forth. So, in other words, so now we have to make a distinction between Rishi and Rika. So, and we have, let's say something like analyzing, rational analysis. Rishi, rational analysis. I don't think that we have the equivalent of this term in the Tibet. I'll try to make a distinction. The thing is, in the case of the ultimate analysis, you would use the expression Rishi. So Ripa is like got the idea of like rational, logical. Shi like then awareness. So we would use that in the case of, let's say, a rational awareness or a logical awareness. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, and ragi Kari, the not been the Lord custard Tarigi Jikra. Yeah, so it's so Tarik so signs so the rig in the Rishi is like logic or reasoning, and the Shi is consciousness, so a rational consciousness, a rational awareness. You'd use that in the context of an ultimate analysis, but you wouldn't use it in the case of conventional analysis. So you wouldn't call a conventional analysis, which is the one which is investigating the conventional level of the phenomenon. You wouldn't call it a rational awareness. Let's leave it at that for the time. A rational awareness. You wouldn't call it rational awareness. You would call it reasoning, but not reasoning awareness. Okay, it's just it's just how these terms are used. You wouldn't use the word a reasoning awareness. You can call it reason. So.
Well, Chida Ripa said, Ripa said, Ripa said. But then the Rishi is to Kubi, Sheba. Ripa di Sadua, di Ripa said, Kubi Ripa said, Kubiarba, Dobrach. The Rishi said, Sayarvak. Tati Chidanko Rishi said the Riverba. No. Tatu Rishi said the Riverba.
Represented Mazolori
and Tirva. Titari. Then the dealer Saja, the Rishi said, Kubi Jedok is to Cherva.
No.
These are Ti nelu ribas, nelu ribe shebatisia.
No.
Ribshisina.
No.
Nelu tuna. Shebatini.
No.
Shebatini. Ti ribshisia.
Rishi said it and Nelu Rigbe
Ah, Sheba. Nelu
Tope. Nelu Rigbe, Nelu Tope. No, no. So the thing is, when we say, so we settled on, just now we settled on, what was it, reasoning?
Rational awareness.
Reasoning awareness. Okay, so what it means is, the reasoning part of it means, it's more to do with, it's more like, people is the ragi go rigrala. And Rikshigi Riksedi ragi go rikasa rigrala. And go to and Dikaban Rikshis in it.
Cheba. Tadu tuna. Cheba jini. Cheba yansa.
Yeah, so it's to do with an analyzing. So we talk about an analyzing mind or an analyzing consciousness, awareness. I mean, they're all basically, mutually inclusive terms. So what it's talking about is a mind which analyzes or reasons into the ultimate nature. So it exclusively refers to that kind of analysis. Okay?
Tadi, anda ngabja kuju di Indra tamadre dua ribeche sume subutene. Dekona ni la cheve ribe nyemani la sesuma. Tadi ribeche sugichu yarbesena.
Which is you so no.
Ani karesine taduchi veri shigi nyebe de yarba. Nyede ayi. Nye mani yela setuga. Ribe che shesina ribati nyeba la stiburis. Ribati nye suna ribati che shesiyaris. Ribati minye bala ribati che mesuba siyaris cheba. Tadu. Jasa taduchi veri shigi che sube chu yarbe sena. Yamarba.
No.
Taduchi veri shigi nyebe chu yarba. Taduchi veri shigi nyebe chu yarba.
Yarbe. Ale o did it because the Tony the never you need
it. Taduchi veri beche suma society. Taduchi veri shigi nyema gini ba. Taduchi veri shigi nyena che shibata. Nyena che bin suba iba. In that taduchi veri shigi che suba chu yarbe esi. Yeah.
Yamarwa.
Nyebe chu yarba.
Maybe.
Taduchi veri shigi nyebe chu yarba.
Merwa.
Oh, merwa. Tumba niti.
E continui di ripetere mara.
Tumba niti.
Mare.
Tumba niti taduchi veri shigi nyebe ba.
Manie.
Toverba.
Nulla distendo.
Ore, that is conducted to that.
Okay, so let's see. Now I have to make you sweat a bit if we can. So we were just saying that there's nothing which can withstand a rational analysis, right? So nothing can withstand a rational analysis means there's nothing which can be found by a rational analysis, right? So if there's nothing that we can found by that rational analysis, what about emptiness? Isn't emptiness found by rational analysis? When you, for example, when you do a rational analysis to see whether the vase exists ultimately or not, it finds the emptiness of the vase, doesn't it? So emptiness is found by rational analysis, isn't it?
But it's like a conventional version, right?
No, emptiness is not a conventional phenomenon.
But when you find it, you're not.
It's found.
But it's kind of found conventionally, right?
So there is something which withstands rational analysis, then, isn't that right? But we all just so it's not a phenomenon.
It
Because there's nothing which withstands rational analysis, is there?
No,
And now you're saying emptiness withstands rational analysis.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because it's found by rational analysis.
But you just said there's an emptiness of emptiness, so it is a phenomenon.
It is a phenomenon, yes. So it doesn't withstand rational analysis.
No,
It does.
It
In
does.
this case, it does.
it doesn't.
Fine.
가다된 가지때 다디 repeat never ask didn't like the never ask doesn't repeat chases and she the she didn't the repeat chemis a bit cavada doesn't repeat chase a bit choyo maras and don't need chase over us doesn't cause this tom shot
that's just very very that is repeat society rani the jube thadu jube shiti is we don't need it thadu jube shi just maris correction rani the jube thadu jube bati james rani the jube thadu jube bati rani matore that taya tungi temba duma tu jebe ribati tungi mato athasina
Da.
tungi temba duma tu jebe ribati ne tungi mato re mato athasina ta tungi to tungi mato tungi di matos
Tony Madosti kore.
동시기 돈이지.
어떤
저석이
No,
동번이 계시 전에
no,
이 나라시기 두마도 제버봐.
나래.
이 계시기 동번이도 또야 말봐.
또 야만해.
그런기 계시기 동번이 땡기 동번이도 또 봐야사.
No,
돈이 또 슬버봐.
no, 나래. 나래. I Tony to say the koti kishigi thingi and the Tony the Toby inside.
디레 미시지 계시 동번이 봐.
No,
계시 동번이 샤네 동번이 템바 두마도 제버이 봐.
no, 나래.
디 제인들 동번이 또 버르겠으네.
Mado.
동번이 또야 말봐.
그런 기지지.
이만이 또
또 쓰고. 다이 이게 또 쓰는데 더 넘겨도 말아.
안에 디 동번이들이 배제수를 왜
Tony 비치에서 말해.
말해봐.
Tony 비치에서 말아 가.
말해봐. 제가 랑이를 주베
就是
랑이를 주베 리시티기
就是
랑이 또 마송아
Rani
랑이를 주베
Rani Jebe and the
리시티기
Mado.
랑이 많이 벌봐.
Mani
그런 말다 뚱이 많이 벌봐.
Tony Mani Vera.
탈 뚱이 지니에 송아 그런 게 땡그 뚱이 지니에 벌봐.
Nievata, ecco. Tony Niesla.
接续东西嘛，
제시기 뚱이도 많이 벌봐.
东西呢，
Tony Niemani. Cici con the Tonyra.
起码呢，
And dig it.
Tony
Tony Tora.
这个东西呢，这些东西嘛呢，
데이팅 돈이가 아니야.
계시기 돈이
혼수를
많이
동의를 혼수를
곤수의 돈이.
콘셉트 돈이 가와요.
곤수의 돈이지.
탄이주 탄이
나도
탄이야
돈이 오면 곤수의
돈이
돈이지. 가는
탄이야 돈이죠.
나중에 한 입에 대도
아니야,
곤수의 돈이 많이 지.
돈이 탄이었지.
There we are.
아, 뒤에 계시 돈이 뒤마도 그래봐. 계시 돈이 땡기 돈이 뒤도 그래봐. 돈반이 있어야지 알아봐.
맞아요.
돈반이 있어야지. 돈반이 있어야지. 돈이 계시 전에 뒤 땡기 돈이
네,
돼.
네.
돈반이 있으게 알아봐.
얘네들 돈이라. 지금 돈이 떴어.
돈이 들어봐.
돈이
돈이 맞아.
돈이 되기 돈이라.
네.
지금 돈이 떴어 그라.
돈이도 캐시 땡기 동반이들 많이
네, 계시기 땡기.
캐시
최신
많이
돈이 많이 내 돈이
최신
많이.
많이
최신 때도 돈이 많이 돈이가 또.
계시.
캐시 땡기 돈이 또 캐시 동
So anyway, the thing is, this is very
최신 그런
tricky
돈이
because
돈이.
the thing is, okay, so we would think, that when you do an ultimate analysis of the vase, then you can't find it. You can't find the vase, the thing that you're analyzing. But you do realize emptiness, but not that's not the thing that you're analyzing. You do realize emptiness. But we also say that, okay, so if you take emptiness as the, we also say emptiness doesn't withstand analysis. If you take emptiness as the thing that you're examining to see whether it exists ultimately or not, then you wouldn't find it, right?
Right.
But you do find emptiness, don't you?
Yeah, but not direct perception.
Yeah, but the thing you have to say that you realize that mind realizes emptiness, don't you?
Yeah, just conventional.
It
It's
does
not
realize
direct
emptiness.
perception.
It realizes the emptiness of emptiness, doesn't it?
Yes, it doesn't realize the ultimate nature of emptiness.
No, but it realizes the
Realize
emptiness of emptiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
It realizes the emptiness of emptiness. Emptiness of emptiness is emptiness, isn't it? It's one of the many different kinds of emptiness there is. So it does realize emptiness.
Yeah.
But now I'm lost. I'm not able to squeeze as well, but anyway. But you get the apparent contradiction, right? So you have to say that emptiness doesn't withstand analysis, that it's not found by analysis, and it's not realized by analysis. If it could withstand analysis, that would mean that you could find it, and when you find it, that means you've realized it. Okay. So we have going in that direction. It makes sense. That emptiness can't withstand analysis because it doesn't exist ultimately. It's therefore you don't find it. Therefore you don't realize it. But actually, that mind does realize emptiness because it realizes the emptiness of emptiness. So you see, it's a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? It looks like you'd have to say it does realize emptiness, but also you're saying it doesn't realize emptiness. The gawat chichagda. Because one is the Tony Matos Labgoras. Tony Crunch Chichena, and it Dipping Masters Labgora. Remember serving some the Mania begins some talks Labgora. Because the Matos. The Yini and the Tony Tora. Tony
Matos.
Oh.
Tony Rishiti Matos.
No.
Rishiti Tony Dos.
Tony Digi Matos.
Tony di Tani Manirwa.
Oh.
Tony Tambatu Cheva Tina Tuni Maniva. Jasa Tuni Maniva, yes, Tuni di Matos. Tinda Rishiti Tuni Dos. Tuni think Tuni Toverba. Tuni di Matos.
So I think the only way we can put this into English is just to see if we can make the distinction in this way. Emptiness isn't realized by that rational analysis, but that rational analysis realizes emptiness.
Yeah.
Okay, say that again.
Yeah.
Emptiness isn't realized by that rational analysis, that ultimate analysis, but that ultimate analysis does realize emptiness.
Doesn't make sense.
The thing is, when you're saying that emptiness isn't realized by that ultimate analysis, what it means is you've been checking to see whether the emptiness is ultimately existent or not, and you don't find an emptiness existing ultimately. which means it does. So that emptiness is not found by the rational analysis, and it's not realized by the rational analysis. What it does realize is the emptiness of that emptiness, and therefore it does realize emptiness.
Oh.
So emptiness isn't realized by that ultimate analysis, but that ultimate analysis does realize emptiness.
Right.
That works, doesn't it?
But can't you say that the emptiness is dependent on the realizer, and that's what makes it dependent arising?
Nobody's saying it's not a dependent arising, though, so far. How does that help with this?
It helps because one thing is that we're talking about emptiness is a phenomenon, and that is realized that is not realized by analysis, and that mind of analysis is a separate thing than the emptiness, and that mind of reality, that mind.
It's the reason that
Through-
it doesn't exist.
Through
in
ultimate analysis, it realizes emptiness.
Yeah.
Yes. So one thing is we're talking about the emptiness is a phenomenon,
Mhm.
and one thing is the mind that realizes that emptiness. So there's two different things.
I'll say that again.
One thing is we're talking about emptiness is phenomenon,
Yes.
which is not realized by ultimate analysis.
Yes.
And that ultimate analysis is a mind
Yes, it is a mind. Yes.
that realizes that emptiness. So we are talking
No, it
about
doesn't realize that emptiness.
No,
it
no,
realizes
it-
another emptiness.
Yes. It realized the emptiness of the vase. So here we're talking about two things. So one thing is phenomena, and one thing is the mind that look at
Yeah.
and realize or does not realize that phenomenon.
I don't get that. Mulai di sini aku. Kau di aja di gini de. Kau tende mana ves? Tende koran to be lo de la terveras di lagi tu. Nah ini kandis pengitu lavi. Ini mosana. Kau cuy be chani kau. You're saying because it's a phenomenon, it doesn't withstand analysis. But then the mind, what?
So emptiness is a phenomenon.
Yeah.
And it's not realized by analysis, by ultimate analysis.
Well, Tony sing the chains, and the tabichu richigi regime masses
Mane.
laboras. Chetanji the ribichism.
Tomba niti. Tomba ni temba tuma tu chenye tikiri batigi. Tomba ni manis. Tigi ritiri. Tomba ni temba tuma tu chebe ribatigi tomba ni ribeche mesurba. Tomba ni temba tuma tu chebe ribatigi tomba ni mato. Tomba ni ting tu ni to. Ni tu ni to gribes na.
Tonito.
Tu ni to. Tu ni to ba. Ti tu ni to be. Ti tu ni to.
Te tonito. Tony gitengi tonito.
Tu ni di. Tu ni di. Tu ni gitengi tu ni to ni ti to gribes na. Tuni kura.
Tony Kranto verbe.
Tuni ti se tuni le tuni temba tu matu chenye gre patigi.
No.
Tuni gitengi tuni to verba.
Lare.
Tite. Ta tiribati tuni ti atos na.
No, ripetigi Tony Atos.
No.
Okay, so how about this? When you take the emptiness as the basis of the analysis, the thing which you're analyzing. In other words, you're analyzing whether emptiness itself is truly existent or not. Then that emptiness that you've been examining, you wouldn't realize it, right? You wouldn't realize it. it wouldn't realize it because, you know, if you realize it, then you'd be realizing that it means that you found it, it means that you've got an emptiness which is truly existent. So now then, would you want to say that ultimate analysis realizes the emptiness of that emptiness, but doesn't realize that emptiness?
Steve, can I?
No, that's from Shay's question.
No, wait, say that again. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Wait.
Would you say, would you be happy to say that ultimate analysis realizes the emptiness of emptiness, but doesn't realize emptiness, or perhaps doesn't realize that emptiness?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Did it do younger? Tony Crown Cheshi Cheni and the Taduchi bit Chemiseveres. Did Tony Mato? Did think it only the dos?
No, this is the thing to need to do. Cheshi company to
Yeah, so that's really what we're saying, isn't it? When the emptiness itself is the thing that you're analyzing, then you'd have to say emptiness, you know, in other words, I mean, in brackets kind of thing, that emptiness isn't realized, but you do realize the emptiness of that emptiness.
Well, that's a specific emptiness, whereas emptiness itself is more of a general term, right?
Tony said, cheetah, then Tony did the Jetta.
Really?
Okay.
That and the Tony did the Batuma to Jebet, Tina Tumi Niebaina. Ani Tuni Temba to Duerba. Tuni did Temba Meverba. Tuni Kuna Temba Meverba. Tuni did Temba Tuma to Jebet, Tina Tuni Jeme Sugarba. Jebet Tala Tuni Maniesu. Jebet Tala Tuni, Tuni Temba to dry. Tuni Temba Meverba, Tuni Temba Meverba. Just Tuni Temba Tuma to Jebet, Tina, Tuni Temba Meverba. Tina Tuni the Niesuna,
Mevatobare.
Niesuna could Temba to Dulva. Tuni Temba Tuma to Jebet Tala, Tuni the Deltuna, Tuni Temba to Dulva. That is Jebet Tala Tuni Maniesu. Jebet Tala Tuni Mayuna, Jebet Tala Tombani getting the Tumi Yeverba. Oh, that is it.
She's a mania, honey, mania is Mevatos, Labore.
Really,
Mevato.
Jeter Mevatorba. Matunga and Tuatambo said Jiva. Jebet Tala Matunga Tagad and the Tuni Toba Surba. Matunga and the Tuat, Jebet Tala.
So you see, when the rational, when you have an ultimate analysis of emptiness itself, if you were to say that it finds emptiness, then that would mean that you've discovered that emptiness is truly existent. So in other words, emptiness would be truly existent. That would mean, which is not. We know that emptiness isn't truly existent. So you would have, when you analyze to see whether it's truly existent, you would find it's not truly existent. You wouldn't find truly existent emptiness, right? You wouldn't find that. You wouldn't. So what we would say is you don't find emptiness, because what it means is you're looking for when the ultimate analysis is looking for emptiness, it's looking for emptiness which is truly existent, right? So it doesn't find emptiness. It doesn't find emptiness. And therefore it realizes its non-existence. At the end of an ultimate analysis of emptiness, you realize the non-existence of emptiness. It doesn't mean in general you realize it doesn't exist, but when we're talking about analyzing an ultimate analysis, you're looking for emptiness, means you're looking for emptiness that truly exists, right? So it realizes it doesn't exist, and that makes sense because we have a scripture which says, not seeing is like the best seeing. Or no, sorry, it's better this way, I think. Not seeing is seeing the ultimate. In other words, when you analyze emptiness even to see whether it's ultimately existent or not, and you don't see it, because you don't see it truly existent emptiness, right? When you don't see it, then you've seen emptiness. You've seen its emptiness.
Tungi shebe tangi tabe tatu tsere tsena, tungi shebe tangi tabe tatu tongba nirwa. Ye patse yundu tsamba, ni ju yuna ku temba dhudhurwa, tungi temba dhudhurwa. Ne temba dhudhurwa yesa, tungi shebe tangi tabe tatu tsere tsena, tungi di ni ju meso. Tungi ki tengi tengi nyebari mishu.
Just like we would say that in the case of the vase, when you look for the imputed object, which would be the vase, on the basis of imputation of the vase, you wouldn't find it. So likewise, with emptiness, in the case of emptiness, when you look for the imputed object, which in this case would be emptiness, on its basis of imputation, you wouldn't find it. If you say that you do find emptiness, then that would mean that emptiness would be truly existent. So we have to say you can't find it. You do find the emptiness of emptiness, but you don't find emptiness. Otherwise, emptiness would be truly existent.
The tungi tani tungi shebe tani tabe tatu tungi di jagachina miya yamar. Ya tungi tete chibari tati rangi bu meje ti chetam je tani tabe tatu tsani ni ki yeche. Tengi bu ni ki meje. Dinsi du chetam je situ tungi shebe tangi tabe tatu tsere tsini ni ki mese. Ba tangi tabe tatu tsere tsini ni yameba.
Everybody from the Swatandrika system and below, they would all say that when you look for the imputed object on the basis of imputation, then you would find it. It's only in the Prasangika system that it's said that when you look for the imputed object in the basis of imputation, you don't find it. You find its emptiness, but you don't find the object, that you're looking for, which is a truly existent this and that.
Rangu motu be kenga su yemete ripatela ane tingi le chuberi paski duga kana ripatela tingi le chuberi pashi jati ikona ni tu kenga la suba tuma tu chuberi becheles tingi le chubasi de ikona ni le chubasi yare atande tande tatu chuberi shitela tatu chuberi patela ane tingi le chuberi paski 이카레스네 디코나니를 줘. 디코나니스네 동반이를 봤다 동반이 탈도 붙잖아. 탈도 붙잖아. 줘봐 인산. 디코나니도 겨와라서 바투마도 줘봐 인제 차르스다디
Michiro. No. Okay, so then we are still looking at the rest of the paragraph that comes after the quote from Chandrakirti. So not the whole of this paragraph, but let's see, maybe in the middle, thus the analysis searches to see whether forms and so forth have production and cessation that exist essentially. It is not that this line of reasoning searches for mere production and cessation. Okay, I think maybe it's here. Therefore, this line of reasoning is said to analyze reality because it analyzes whether production, cessation, and so forth are established in reality. Anyway, so what this is saying, I'm not quite sure that's exactly where we are, but anyway, you know, somewhere around this this area. The point is making is that when we speak of an ultimate analysis, another way to refer to that would be an analysis of the sort of beneath. That'd be like its suchness or its, you know, thusness. So thatness versus thusness kind of thing. I mean, these are just terms that they use in the text. Deni would be like that itself, literally that itself. Ekonani, you know, we usually call it suchness.
Javana, Javala Soba, Juse Jam, Manibala, James by Sheselas, Ribati, Mani Batamji, Keba, Ninji, Yana Ribati, Trukubale, Di Matuna Keba, you know, started. That Ribati, Mani Batamla, and Tadandeti. TW Bati Chiavam Zavana Kavala Soba Jumse Jam Manibala Jame Suba Silva. Oh, the Tati TW Bati, the Todu Bati Zavana Takivala Soba Karini Kavala Soba Jumse Jam Manibala. James by Sheselas. The Liberty Mani Batamki Keba means Liberty Mani Batamki Keba Maris. Then Todu Juberi Liberty Mani Batam Keba Sigin Sula Suba to so need Marba. Soon mess watching it. Todu Juberi Liberty Mani Batamla Pena Mishi Mani Batamla Mishi. Kexigi Amar. Tradi Mishigi Mani Barba. Tradi Mishigi Mani Barete. Trada Trida Rotosu Mishigi Mani Barba. Mishigi Tratog Mari. Tritog Mari. Rotog Marba. Mishigi. Or did Tog Mariti Mishigi Kaba Marba. Who Rishi Mani Batamte, Rishi Keba Maris. The Yena Rishi the dog Guebe Chigina, that the Madonna could Kebare. That's been as if the Catola Sobatusu, Mishi Madonna that checks away. If the Catholic Subati, Mishi Sunjerva, the if the Catholic Subatus, Mishi Manina, Messi. Tati Mishi Manibrete, Messi to Yamar. Resoneco Mishi Guamarva. Yana Mishi Guinea Marva. Then if the Catholic Tisu, Mishigi Manina Megu Chita Roda Rejatosu Mishigi Manina Memaguvares Mishigi Manibrava Yaris Mishigi Manine Kukiku Maris 포유는 미식이니 군이 취도 말이. 나단데디 리바디 많이 받담나 켜봤니라. 얘는 리바디 죽거발래 디마루나 켜봐인스. 얘는 저도 집에 시비 죽거발라 디마루나 켜봐래. 따대데 라신기 죽나? 저도 집에 시비 죽거발래 디마루가 예선에 따라 시비 켜스리. 라시고 죽었디 켜봐라. 라시고 죽었디 켜기야 가르스는 저도 집에 시비 제 점바 코이나 저도 집에 시비 제니 주요 그게 라시고 죽나 라시고 죽어이나 저도 집에 시비 제니 주요 그게 이 그거라 니 매번 예선다 가자 라시고 죽었디 켜스리 저도 집에 시비 뭘 켜버려 디게 내버려 라시기 두가는 내버려 봐 다지 숙라서 배두수 저도 집에 시기 많이 장 켜봐 말이야 숙라서 배디다 얘는 저도 집에 시기 뭐 욕구야 말이야 라시기 두가 얘는 저도 집에 시기 뭐 욕구야
Manya bayine and never toyo So here we are now, the last paragraph on page 156, not the whole of it. Let's see how far down it goes. Okay, I think it should be here. When such a line of reasoning analyzes or searches for production and so forth, it does not find a trace of them. They are unable to withstand analysis. However, the fact that this line of reasoning does not find them does not entail that it refutes them. So this is the point. So when an ultimate analysis of form and so on doesn't find form, right? But that doesn't mean to say that it realizes form doesn't exist. It doesn't mean that such an analysis refutes form. Because form isn't something that such an analysis should find. You know, if form exists, it doesn't mean that, it's not something that an ultimate analysis should be able to find. If an ultimate analysis should be able to find it and then it doesn't find it, then you could say that form doesn't exist and that form has been refuted. What is refuted is the true existence of form, because the true existence of form, if it did exist, then it should be found by an ultimate analysis. And so the fact that that ultimate analysis doesn't find it, that refutes the, that means that analysis has realized that it doesn't exist. So it's rather like in the case of the visual consciousness. So the visual consciousness cannot perceive sounds, right? Mm-hmm. So when it doesn't perceive a sound, that doesn't mean to say that the sound doesn't exist. On the other hand, if it's a visual form or like shapes and colors, so shapes and colors is something that the visual consciousness should be able to perceive if they're there, and if it doesn't perceive them, that refutes them. That means it realizes that they don't exist. But in the case of things which, if they were there even, it wouldn't be able to find them. The fact that it can't find them doesn't show that they don't exist.
That number Rashid to Bati checks your magic. Medan the carriers in Rashid to be to very significant. They need me to gas, Medan Tiri. That Tadu very significant money, make over vicinity from Maris. So that dollars over to Statu very significant money, but they could keep Maria is here. Don't kuni chiba imbala, mani ba chiba imbala chi me go chasuma.
Mm.
But what the me go the caress and Yena Tatu very shigny. So the Yena Tatu very shigny Kuyama. Ye go maniva in a thought kick so good. Yena Tatu very shigny Kuval and my neighbor in, but he kicks so good. That is good to keep it. Tadi Tatu very shigny Kuyama. Many variety. Yena, try Yena Tatu very shigny Kuyama. Dentro Yena Tatu very shigny Kuya. Never call him Maniva in Santa Chicks. Number two.
The form, form existing by nature, form existing naturally, is refuted, because if there were form existing by nature, then that ultimate analysis should be able to find it. Should be able to find it. It doesn't find it, therefore you know that it doesn't exist. Now the form is also not found, but that doesn't mean to say that it's refuted through such an analysis. In fact, it does exist. So these two, the form existing by nature and form itself, they are similar in the sense that they are not found by an ultimate analysis. But in the case of the form existing by nature, it should be found. If it does exist, it should be found. So when that analysis doesn't find it, then that proves that it doesn't exist. In the case of form itself, mere form, that's not found, but it wouldn't be found. It's not something that would be found by an ultimate analysis. It's not something that should, if it exists, it should be found by an ultimate analysis. It's not the case. Therefore, when it's not found, that doesn't mean to say that it doesn't exist.
That did it. Danji Tatu very shiggy seati, Jen Susiati, Rani la Tatu very shiggy. Rani la Tatu very shiggy erba. Mumbai in a Pumbala Tatu very shiggy. Jen Subasu. Mumbati Rani la Juba Tatu very shiggy, Jen Subi. Tony dear Rani la Jube Tatu very shiggy, Jen Subari. Is that Tony Kora? Tony took a lawyer. Rani the Jube Tatu very shiggy Manieri. She that Tony to very shiggy never. Ripati near Mani, la Sia Ripati, Rani la Jube Tatu very shitty near Manila. Near sooner. Jesubari. Me must not Jesubaris. But nobody did Rani the Jube, Rishitigi, Jesubi. Rani the Jube, Rishigi Jet and the Mess. Jet and the Maid, the Tunirva. Tea Sunday. The Jet and the career is in a Tuni thing, Tuni the area in Michigan. Tuni the Navy Amrava. But the Ribati said that I need a Jebesina, I need a Jebetatu Jebetigi, Jesu, Messula, Jesuna, Neva, Jem Messubati, Minibla, Sabina Tati, and Tintigarit.
And so when we say that this and that cannot withstand an ultimate analysis, that means an ultimate analysis taking that object as the basis which is analyzing. So whatever you take as the basis that you're analyzing to see whether it's ultimately exists or not, that is not found. So in the case of a vase,
you would say that when you take the vase as the basis that you're analyzing, basis of analysis, then you wouldn't be able to find it. Likewise, emptiness. When you take emptiness itself as the basis of analysis, then you wouldn't find it. So what you do realize is the emptiness of emptiness, because there is a mind realizing that emptiness is empty, right? So there's a mind realizing the emptiness of emptiness. So we say that emptiness itself cannot withstand an ultimate analysis. It doesn't exist at the end of an ultimate analysis. And so what you will have realized through that would be the emptiness of emptiness.
That is Shani.
So we'll stop there, and maybe if there are any questions.
I have a question. It's a practical one around meditating. It seems like when you're meditating on the emptiness of emptiness, there's no choice but to take a view of dependent arising, because the meditation gets so spacious that you'll lose the object if you don't come back in and just do it dependent arising.
The Tony Hitoni, the Komyamna, and the Coaching Ladroinigado, Tony Conan the Ladroinigado, Meba Chagning, the social long like the Meba Chagningato, Chesan that the intimate tender sound Tangoras.
To me, getting to me, telling Yamba shower.
No. Yes, what you actually need to put your mind on is the emptiness of emptiness.
That's the answer? Okay.
There's two questions back here.
Yeah, so my question was similar to Chime's. When you are analyzing or using emptiness as the object for your analysis, then what is the basis of imputation for that meditation on emptiness of emptiness?
The Tony Coranda Chishi Cheni and the Tajuchi, the kind of the good temper to my group, the Yimi, the Chigina, that the Tartan the Tony Che, the Taxi Kashavres. Taxi. Oh,
Daji.
Taxi.
Tartan Taxi.
Taxi, to me, the Chashe to shadow, Mega to shadow. I said to God, Mega to shadow. Taxi.
For the base of imputation, you could take the different parts of emptiness, or you could take what do you call it, the mere negation, the mere negation of the object to be negated.
But what is, there's no spout, there's no base, so what am I supposed to be focusing on? I understand different parts, but what are the different parts of emptiness?
But the chashil the shana and the Tony chashi carriers.
Oh, there it Tuni Chashi telephone, getting it to me, a car, think it to me.
We went back to the bumper.
So, well, the different, there are many parts of emptiness. There's the emptiness of the vase, the emptiness of the pillar, the emptiness of everything, you know. Those are all parts of emptiness. So they would be the basis of imputation.
Could Chashirva? Betting it to me, dear to me, Chashiri, guarding it to me, dear to me, the Chashirva. That Chidirva, Tuni said Chidirva. Could Chirakanga to me, Chashiri?
Yes, because the emptiness of the vase is a part of emptiness. The emptiness of the pillar is a part of emptiness. Those are all different parts of emptiness. So the thing is that emptiness is a universal or a generality. I don't know which term you're most used to, but anyway, it's a universal. And then there are, as a universal, it has various instances or particularities, such as the emptiness of the vase, the emptiness of the pillar, and so on.
Yeah, when Pumbadi 가 싱그 본바 자이 본바 세그 본바 누구 본바 간다 본바게 차시해 봐. 본바 세티 지리 봐.
Just like you can say in the case of a vase, you can talk about a wooden vase, a clay vase, a gold vase, and so on. Those are all parts of the vase. Those are also instances of the vase. But they would also be parts of the vase.
나란도 간가 미 차시해 봐.
So like we are all parts of human being. If you think of human being as being the universal, we're all instances of that universal, aren't we? We're all parts of human being.
So if I continue to analyze the emptiness of the vase, or then eventually I will get to
Eventually you go around the
bend.
twist.
So I get to the emptiness of emptiness. What am I going to use to analyze emptiness of emptiness?
If you want to take that as the
As the object, yeah, the emptiness
And
of
don't-
emptiness.
Tonigi, the Tonigi Yorwa.
예.
The Tonigi Kranda ne de Chichini, and because of the Chabachana.
야래.
Then good Chashikares.
돈이
Go the taxi.
중니디 차시 계시제 아니 델 제베제나
No.
아 돈이디 따티 돈이 아 분배된게
Tonigi
돈이
the
가야 된게 돈이
It's very straightforward, actually. If you want to take the emptiness of emptiness as the thing that you're analyzing to see whether that it exists truly or not, then the parts you can talk about the parts of that of the emptiness of emptiness, and for that you could talk about the emptiness of the vase. I think Anne had a question, or has it gone? Did you lose it?
Now, I'm asking, so when you said I want to, rational analysis is analyzing into reality,
Yeah.
right? So I'm saying I want to find vase or find emptiness. Wouldn't it be better say I want to find, rational analysis want to find ultimately existent vase or ultimately existent emptiness? Then there's no confusion, right? Because when you just say vase by itself, then we get to choose this exists.
Well, the thing is, though, that we're saying that the vase cannot withstand rational analysis because nothing which exists
So
can
the
withstand.
ultimate, the inherently existent vase cannot withstand analysis,
Oh.
right?
So you want you don't want to have
to
to say that the vase can't withstand rational analysis. You want to say the
ultimately existent
yeah.
vase.
지난번에 벤나 그것도 분파的 repetition 말해서 말아봤지. 근데 남는 역 사보도 이 톰도도 템바 드베데 분파디 repetition 말해서 남나 야가 말해서 근데 사보자 repetition 말해서 많이 해봐래서 디그라 말해
분배때 바로 tum마도 제기 알아봤어.
템바 드룹 가서 템바
분배때 템바투바래 말에 제기 알아봤어.
No. You can examine whether the vase is truly existent or not, can't you?
야래. 뒤에서는 나한테 템바투마투 제문도가. 분바 그래서 단지
Most of the bomba temperature be bombadi repetition mares lana yabodos.
나리 베체스 마리스.
No.
어디 마리스.
No.
다
Bomba de chese mares and the yabumindo.
아, 그래. 분바티 타도 주베리 시기 제수를 베스를.
No.
네, 분바티 바투버리 베스.
No. So the thing
바투버리 베스.
So the thing is, the vase itself, right? Does it withstand a rational analysis? Is it truly existent or not?
Not truly existent.
Then but the mares.
템바투바 마르바 예타 분바 템바투마투 제베. 분바 템바투마투 제니 야르바.
So in other words, there is a mind which analyzes whether the vase is truly existent or not, isn't there?
Right.
Oh.
제들 메세 우르바.
And when it analyzes, then it doesn't exist, right?
Right. It cannot find the truly existent vase.
Pumba temba tu matu chebe chetala pumba yaribes.
When you at the end of an analysis into whether the vase is truly existent or not, is there a vase?
There isn't.
And
There
Is there a vase?
There's
Yes.
no truly existent vase.
No,
But
is
there
there
is
a
a
vase?
vase.
The question was, is there a vase?
The vase does exist. There is a vase, but not truly existent.
Pumba yes.
Oh, pumba ti temba tu matu chebe chetala tegduga temba tu ta.
So the
Temba
thing
tu
is, you
matu
see,
cheba ti chebi tu temba tegi na temba re tu.
the thing is when you take the vase and analyze whether it's truly existent or not, if at the end of that analysis the vase remains, that means it's truly existent.
Okay.
Pumba temba re.
Right. So you do the analysis to see if the vase is truly existent or not.
Yeah,
And you don't find a truly existent vase,
right.
right? So I mean, there's no truly existent vase, but there is a merely existent vase that's still there.
So what you want to say is that the truly existent vase doesn't remain, but the vase remains.
The merely existent vase.
Yes.
Kranzana, the Demba Drubi the Bumbati Degimares. The because of the Bumbat Samchi Degres.
Ta te se to lo di mo la se ba.
Mm.
Temba tu matu chebe che lo di ani thala lo di tunyi to ba. Tunyi lo di holi pumba ya marba.
The mind that's analyzing to see whether the vase is truly existent or not realizes emptiness, doesn't it? So that mind that's realizing emptiness, for that mind, there's no vase, right?
That's right.
For that mind, there's no vase.
Chesan the Dagran rested go the Jebetar and the Tonito Gugas. The Tonito bit low della and the Bumba Yomares.
Ta chebe thalim mi tu gas.
So that's what it means to say that at the end of analysis, there's no vase.
So another mind realized that there's a merely
Lo ji.
Bumba Samchi, you have a topilo shenda chi the shower.
Di che chebe thali yu se di. Cheba jinye di lo di mo lo yu me le shower ba. Chita chebe thali si ani yu me se di. Cheba jinye lo ji mo le shower ba.
The thing is, when you say, you talk about, is there a vase or isn't there a vase at the end of an analysis, you have to answer from the point of view of a particular mind. So the thing is, that mind, it has to be from the point of view of that mind which is doing the analysis. That mind which is analyzing, checking, examining whether there is a vase that's truly existent or not, realizes emptiness, right? Because it realizes no vase is truly existent. For that mind, which is realizing the emptiness, in other words, at the end of analysis means when that mind realizes their emptiness, there's no vase. It doesn't realize a vase. There's no vase there. For that mind, there's no vase. And that's why we would say that the vase itself doesn't withstand analysis, isn't found, doesn't exist at the end of an analysis, because it doesn't exist for that mind.
Yeah, good.
so
I think maybe we should stop there. We should say.
next time. We should say conventional, not
Sachi.
Bagi Joseph Mendo Tram, Jiran, Sangye Jindo Medebo, Rogan Nanda Chingla Chabarasho. Guru Rana Mandala Yatayami. Rimboche, Maki Kana Giguchi, Kiwana Wamaya, Kone Kondo Pavarasho. Kore Chingandi, Pendandewa, Generasi Wante Jingazoyi, Japesite Bat, Tenguruchi.
Yeah.
Kita